A lark and her momster are coming your way. Gonna tell it how it is, so won't you join us today? And we're off!
To see the wizard!
Well, that was one of the trailers that played that I remembered from when we went to see Deadpool and Wolverine, which was phenomenal, probably one of the best cinematic experiences I've had in ages.
Well, it was, and I'm so glad that you took me. But don't you want to welcome people to our episode, honey?
No. Hi. Welcome. This is a lark and her momster. Say hi.
Hi.
And we want to welcome you to episode...
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinco.
5.
5.
5.
Oh, that's why I can't sing.
Yep. Still 5.
Still the number 5.
And we still went to see Deadpool and Wolverine last weekend.
It was so good.
We
won't give any spoilers, but there was one scene in particular. No,
I will give one spoiler. Hugh Jackman is so
hot. He is hot. Hugh Jackman
so
is hot. I know. I went for the comedy and the nostalgia. You went for Hugh Jackman and a certain scene.
Well, Hugh Jackman in all the scenes. It's Hugh Jackman.
Fair enough.
Oh my God, I've had a crush on him for so long.
I have to quote a dear friend of mine who actually gave us our wine.
Oh, we have what, special wine?
We do, but I'll get into that later. I have to quote a dear friend of mine who said, wait, I have to quote it. So I have to quote it, which means now I have to look up on my phone exactly what he said. But there was a certain cameo.
You should be prepared when we're
I should be prepared, podcast. But I'm not. But he said that there was a certain scene in the film where someone made a cameo. I'm not going to say who it was in case you haven't seen it yet. But he said... Oh, wait, where did it go? There it is, okay. He absolutely screamed, and I did too, like a 60s teenage girl watching the Beatles when he saw this person make his appearance. And we all did, and it was phenomenal. So go see Deadpool and Wolverine if you haven't. I promise this isn't a paid ad by any of the... Is it Disney? Who does the movie? Yeah. It's not Fox.
No, they made that pretty clear. I not 20th Century Fox.
No.
They made that really clear in the movie.
Solid
Numerous allusions to that, but
solid movie, and I have to say this wine is absolutely wonderful. So thank you, Jared Velarde, who AKA can also be found on Instagram or TikTok as Danger Rabbit. He is the one who provided us with this excellent wine from Wines of the San Juan. And it really would have been apropos for our middle school melodrama episode because this wine is called Girls Are Meaner.
It would have been. But it's really great wine.
It's really great, and it's also true. Girls are meaner.
They are meaner.
It is very true. And I will tell you, I don't know what the hell we're drinking, but it's delicious.
It's called a Gewürztraminer.
Sure. So I'll read what the back of the wine bottle says, but it says the name Girls Are Meaner pays homage to the perseverance and unconditional love that the women in our lives show us each day. Oh, I love that. This wine has an exotically fruity personality that flirts with sweet aromatic bouquets of gardenia and rose petals. The sweet demeanor of Girls Are Meaner. Oh my God, it rhymed. I'm sorry, that made me so happy. Pairs well with the fresh and spicy Thai dishes, arugula salad with citrus, and barbecue lunches like orange glazed pork loin. Why was that so hard for me to say?
And we don't eat pork, so...
We don't, but we encourage all to love fiercely and drink responsibly.
Love fiercely and drink responsibly. Let's toast to that.
Cheers!
Woo!
Woo!
Slante.
Slancha. That's
Slancha.
how you say it.
Sorry.
Wow, Mom doesn't do languages.
Mom doesn't.
We know that from a previous episode.
Yeah, Mom doesn't.
Well, welcome to our episode today where we are going to talk about what it is to...
Write legibly.
Which I don't.
No, you don't. As a matter of fact, did you ever practice handwriting in school?
Yes, I did. And I was obsessed with writing in cursive. I couldn't wait to learn how to write in cursive. I had fine printing skills, but cursive was my jam, and your handwriting was always beautiful that I tried to copy it, but I failed miserably, and somehow my handwriting turned into a mixture of, like, weird Pig Latin cursive meets I should have been a doctor, but I wasn't smart enough to be a
Definitely.
doctor.
Well, you're smart enough to be a doctor. You just didn't go down that path.
Nah,
but
medical
it's
school takes a
really,
long time.
really sad when you give me these beautiful cards and the inside of the card has a full-on letter, and I have to hand it to you and go, honey, can you read this to me?
No. It doesn't. It plays out more like, I'll give you the card, and I'll watch you make faces to try to understand what the words are, and then I'll just say, do you want me to just read it? But the best part is when I can't decipher my own handwriting, because I'm like, oh, hold on. I need to give myself context clues. Give me a minute, because I don't know what I wrote. So, yes, I have issues writing legibly. And we just want to acknowledge that last week's episode was a little long. We're going to keep this one a little bit shorter, but we appreciate your patience in hanging out with us. And God, we hope you're drinking, because we're a lot more fun if you are.
Well, and I will say that you have really excellent fine motor control, yet you write really horribly. And what is that?
I don't know, but I can do this really cool thing where if you have your two pointer fingers pointing towards each other, you put one going out away from you and then pull one in towards you. I can make two No. Look. You can't do it. Jared knows what I'm talking about, by the way, because he's tried to do this with his entire
I'm doing
team.
it now.
No, you're not. You have to make a big circle. Oh,
I am doing it.
Wow.
See?
Okay,
It's
that's
not
actually
that
impressive.
hard.
It's not, but people can't do it. Which
It's easier when you're drinking.
Sure.
Okay. So, did you know that the current ability for young adults to write?
But we have to nip in the bud. Did you know? Because we're starting to sound like an after-school special. The more you know, don't cough inside, don't come after us.
I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet now.
Okay, so, did you know? Do go on.
No, that's okay.
No, go on.
No, it's
do
okay.
Go on.
No, I'm just going to sit over here and wiggle my toes.
You should start with, if you didn't know, you will now know that...
Okay, that there's a reduced emphasis on penmanship as a skill, and that cursive today isn't even taught in schools.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really?
That's so sad. See, I wish they would have taught us calligraphy.
Oh, that'd have been cool.
I know, because in my morbid little heart, I have like a little vial of blood that I dip my calligraphy pen in and write beautiful letters to all the vampires that don't exist in my life.
Well, speaking of vampires and how they wrote, prior to the 20th
Wait, I'm sorry. How many Anne Rice balls did you go to?
All of them.
How many vampires do you know? You know, back in my day, when I was luncheoning with the vampires of New Orleans
at the Columns Hotel on St. Charles
I tell you,
Avenue,
they wrote so legibly.
They used the Spencerian method, which is a more floral method. And if you looked at letters from ancestors or older family members, you would see there's a lot of commonality in how they wrote during that time frame. So if you look at letters from, let's say, your great-great-grandmother.
Great.
No, just your great-great-grandmother.
My great-great-great-great-great-grandmother did not have good handwriting?
No, just...
Did you know?
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, I don't know about that one.
Okay.
But I do know that... Pearl Rush Payne, your great-great-grandmother, who you were born on her birthday, by the way.
You guys, it's really cool. Little side quest. That's not what this is. Side note. A side quest is what Snoop Dogg does at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
The only time you ever listened to me.
Side note is that we have had all 5 generations in the same room. We have a picture of it.
Yeah. Of
me, you, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my great-great-grandmother all alive at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I was born on the same day as my great-great-grandmother.
Right. And you're actually named after your grandmother's youngest sister who died in infancy. So that's where the Larkin came from.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So if you were to look at your great-great-grandmother's handwriting and her mother's handwriting, it would have been a lot more floral. It would have been a lot more like mine today, because I don't know how or why, but I really embraced that style of handwriting. I practiced it.
Not only does like our lineage die with me, but apparently so did the handwriting.
Yeah, I don't know but with your grandmother in the 20th century, it became what's called the Palmer method. So the Palmer method was...
Sounds fancy.
It was more consistent. It was smaller letters. It was just more uniform.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you like the way I said that? Uniformed.
Yes.
With my hands and
You
everything?
did.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really kind of interesting for me that across generations, you see the differences in the handwriting, and unfortunately today we're just screwed because nobody uses...
Everyone
they're not even taught cursive.
But I will say, something for me that I have noticed is that, and I wonder if this has something to do with today's generation, my mind moves so fast that my hand can't keep up, which is partly why I write so terribly, because I have all of these thoughts in my head. And I noticed that when I used to write poetry, and I still write poetry, but I noticed when I used to handwrite things, or handwrite letters, or if I handwrite notes, things will happen in my mind, and my mind will go a mile a minute, and my hand's trying to keep up. So eventually, my T's just look like H's, and my R's look like A's, and then, well, now we've created new words. Because
there's a diagnosis for that.
There probably is, but I'm wondering if there is a diagnosis for that, because that I do know some people who have the same issue where their mind moves so fast that they can't write it down fast enough.
That's a good excuse.
You know what?
I think
don't
it's
know that
really a good excuse for not writing legibly.
I don't think it's an excuse. I wonder if there's research behind that. We'll have to look that up, or someone else can look it up because we didn't.
No, I didn't look at that. I just looked up the differences in handwriting across generations.
Well, you should have looked it up.
Yeah, because I was really curious, and I don't know if other moms out there have noticed how different their daughter's handwriting is from theirs, but yours is beyond different from mine. It's really kind of, I don't know where it came from.
I don't either. I think I was so impressionable as a child that I tried to take all these really cool, what's the word I'm looking for? What's styles, I guess, of writing from different people that I liked. Like, I love people who wrote in all capitalized letters. So sometimes...
Because they're screaming at you.
There really is a difference when you receive a text in all caps versus...
totally screaming at you.
And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm not yelling. It was just, my cap locks was on. But sometimes I'll write things and I'll notice that I have a capitalized letter in the middle of a word, and I'm like, well, that's weird. But it's just because I like certain styles of penmanship, and so I've tried to pick them up.
So you just have a hodgepodge of how you write.
I have a hodgepodge of how I write that's turned into I should have been a doctor, because my writing looks like a doctor's writing, which you can't understand.
Exactly.
Which
Amen.
is why, thank goodness, we have computers these days.
Yes. And it's also the reason... Technology is the reason people can't write anymore. They don't write letters anymore.
So it's kind of like...
And there's actually research that shows our brains are very slowly adjusting.
Devolving.
Yes, totally devolving. Around our use of technology and how we think. Back in the day, I can remember even just 15 years ago, I could not write I could not think unless I was handwriting. And now I can't think unless I'm typing on a computer. My brain just doesn't work that way. And so, if I'm trying to be creative and write a story, or just put things in place in some chronological fashion, if I try to do it by hand, it just doesn't come out of my brain.
That's weird. It's the opposite for me, because I am not a computer typer. And part of the problem is we had a class on typing, but I used that time to socialize and play games with whoever was sitting next to me at the time.
Was that high school?
No, that was middle school.
Oh, in middle school?
Yeah.
Well, that explains
and that was
a lot.
a long time ago.
Well, it also explains a lot. We just had an episode
about middle school melodrama. I know. I was trying to get out of. I was just trying
poke.
Yes.
Okay.
So, for me, I've been journaling a lot more because I've been doing this, manifestation, meditating, journaling, things that I want in life, yada, yada, yada. But I find that my thoughts come out better if I handwrite them versus typing them up.
But then you can't read them.
Okay, so there's this new thing called the 369 method in manifestation, and I have started to write more legibly when I'm writing in my journal so that when I go back, I know exactly what I'm trying to manifest, or I know exactly what little notes I have for myself because they're important. But there are times where I'll get, my mind moves faster than my hands do, so I'll write, but by the very end, I write one that's super legible.
So can I
that I know what I wrote.
manifest a card from you that I can actually read?
We can try. You can work on that manifestation.
I'm
so
gonna
hard.
manifest that.
I do try. I have started to try to write more, and that's something that's so interesting too. Is I get very passionate when I write. That sometimes it doesn't necessarily. You can't read it, but the sentiment is there. The sentiment. I've lost my mom. She's in the wine.
No,
She's
looking
staring into the wine.
I'm staring at the label of this bottle. The Girls Are Meaner. Bottle of wine. And it's a beautiful label. So I don't know.
Shout out Jared.
Yes, thank you, Jared. You're such a blessing. And we're always grateful for you. Plus, Jared gives us excellent feedback, but it's a little biased. So he doesn't actually give us the...
Jared gives us great feedback. He says we're phenomenal and we're incredible. We always sound great. We make him laugh. And anybody else who thinks otherwise can just go fuck themselves. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yes, but that's the problem. He doesn't give us real feedback.
He does. I think he would tell the truth. I think he would tell the truth.
I don't know.
I think he would tell the truth.
And this bottle of wine is just... So, the truth be told...
The bottle of wine is like juice. That's the problem. It's
well,
really
it is. But it's got a beautiful label.
It
and
does.
I will also say that I buy all of our wines based on the labels.
Oh.
Yeah, so my philosophy of wine buying has absolutely nothing to do with quality. It has everything to do with whether I like the labels. And
You're like, is it pretty?
Exactly.
Right.
Or is it cool?
Right.
Or does it have...
Is it spooky?
Or like, does it catch my attention? Like the wine we had last week, just bread and butter sounded funny. So I was like, bread and butter.
Weren't those your first words too? Butter?
No,
Butter
my first word was
biscuit.
butter.
No.
My second word was biscuit.
You like carbs.
And I have the split
first word
britches
was
to prove it.
Oh wait, you guys. Okay, so we went the whole day. We went and saw Dead. It's actually very fitting that you had a whole tear in your butt during Deadpool.
Shh. That was last week, and I've had them fixed since then.
Sorry. Have you guys ever... Oh, I ripped my pants on what's his name? That sounded weird if you don't know the context when we were in Ireland.
Oh, you did?
What was his name?
This
is not an alive person.
Irish,
It's not George Orwell.
No, Jesus. Very famous Irish poet.
We were taking a picture. We were on one of those... Oh, this is another side tangent adventure. We were in Ireland. We were on one of those tour buses. And to be fair, I think part of the problem was it was so cold that I was wearing tights underneath my jeans, which is like a second layer of skin. And I went to like move my leg, and all of a sudden...
Oscar Wilde.
I tore my jeans when I was climbing up Oscar Wilde, which is
well,
really
ironic.
ironic.
Trying to hump Oscar Wilde, you'd have been fine.
Which is ironic because he doesn't even bat for my team.
No,
so.
he doesn't.
So
well, he didn't. I don't think he does anything anymore.
I think he just
I think
haunts.
he's not batting for anyone anymore.
No, I think he just haunts.
His bat's dead. He's got a dead bat.
Bat's dead, gross. I'm not taking you to see Deadpool anymore. It's a bad influence on you.
Oh, they had so many double entendres in that
so
movie. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So good.
Anyway, yeah, it also reminded me of the first time we went to see Deadpool when you were much younger and we still lived in California.
No, the first time we went to see... You're thinking of X-Men.
Oh, I was?
Yes.
No.
We saw Deadpool here.
Oh.
Did we? Did we? We
when
did.
Did it come out?
No, we did. We saw Deadpool here.
When did it come out?
We saw Deadpool here.
Then it must have been the X-Men.
It was the X-Men that we saw.
Because I just remember going to the movie theater at 3rd Street Promenade. And one of my favorite things that I'll always remember about living in Santa Monica and going down there was parking. Do you remember parking?
Why?
Because we always had to embrace the Terminator.
Oh my god! Yes.
So,
okay, so we would go... I mean, we have since learned to use the stairs because that's healthier and everyone should just use the stairs. Unless you can't use the stairs.
We used the stairs there.
Yes, but when the Terminator was in the elevator... The Terminator was in the elevator.
Well, the voice was in the elevator, but we incorporated it as soon as we pulled into the parking space so that would remember where we parked. Right. So we would say level 4.
Because, okay, so if you've seen the Terminator, you know that Skynet has a very specific voice when she is talking about Skynet. Skynet.
So we would pull in and we would say parking structure 3 level 4. Parking structure 3 level 4.
Structure 3 level 4. But also the elevator would do that. You would get in the elevator as soon as you walked into the elevator. The elevator did do it, and I remember.
You must have been taking some good drugs.
No.
Because that
elevator
just smelled like pee.
No,
it was
did
urine.
Talk.
It didn't talk.
It totally talked. Yes, it did. And I remember thinking,
anyone who has ever gone and parked
No. Okay, listen.
In the 2000s,
I'm gonna win this argument.
The parking garage in Santa Monica, please weigh in.
It talked because I remember I said, "Oh, she reminds me of the Skynet lady," which is why. But see, it talked.
No, boom. I was the Skynet lady.
You were not I was the Skynet lady because I was the one who did it. And I said it sounds like Skynet because we went to Universal Studios. You guys, I'm about to pause this because, oh my god, have we gotten off on a tangent.
Blame the wine. Blame the mother-daughter dynamic. Anyway.
As we move on
to Writing Legibly,
we are going to talk about writing legibly before I glitch.
Stop glitching.
I was still correct. It totally sounded like that in the elevator. Anyway, back to Deadpool and Writing Legibly.
At all.
So something I did not get from you was writing legibly.
No, you didn't.
It's sad because it's with all of my cards. With all of the people I love, I constantly have to say, hey. You want me to read that to you?
Exactly. I will say the only, looking at people who write when I'm at work, the only person who writes really well went to school to be a teacher.
Oh, be so careful because people you work are going to listen to this and be like...
Well, maybe they will, but they'll also know that I'm right because the only one who writes well studied to be and was a teacher. And she writes like a teacher. So I guess when you're studying to be a teacher, they teach you how to write legibly and those lovely block letters.
Oh, I love block letters. I just don't do them.
No, you don't.
I don't. Because it takes time. And I don't have time in today's
It doesn't
age.
take her any more time than it takes you to
she
write
has better
the gibberish.
Okay, well then she has better motor skills than I do.
No, she doesn't. You have great motor skills, or you can play the guitar.
Well, I can't play the guitar as well as some other people can.
You play the guitar beautifully.
I play the guitar well enough to accompany myself.
Well, and that's better than most people.
No, it's true. We're in Nashville. Most people can really play the guitar. I am like, meh on the guitar compared to Nashvillians. Ooh, Nashvillans.
No, I love that.
Thank you.
We're Nashvillans.
We're Nashvillans.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
So, anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, you still can't write legibly.
No, I can't.
No,
but
sorry.
I hope that you guys can, because we would love for you to write into us. Wait! I'm not giving your address, but if you wanted to email, well, I guess everyone can write legibly on a computer, can't they?
Exactly!
Unless, here's what I don't understand, though. Those weird, what are they, like, wing bats or wing whatever, font things, right? Like, you have different fonts. You have Helvetica, you have Courier, you have Times New Roman, and then you have, like, Wingbat. Why does that exist? Are you trying to, like, write code to somebody?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
But I use them sometimes.
You use wingbats?
I like to go in and find the wingbats that look really groovy to kind of accentuate things like agenda. So on each side of a word like agenda, I'll put wingbat specific little, because like they have some really pretty groovy wingbat things.
Huh.
Why are you? You know, your dog is really cute.
My dog is adorable, but
she's over by me
oh.
because she knows I write legibly.
I don't know, it's not why she's by you, but she is adorable. And if you guys didn't know, I have the sweetest husky, Siberian husky Malamute wolf coyote hybrid, and she is absolutely adorable and the love of my life. And
she's over by me.
She's over by her Yaya. Oh my god, it's so cute. One of these days I will post a video of how excited she gets on Fridays when we're on our way to see you. She knows now that on Fridays we go see Yaya and Jax and Nugget. And why do I do this? I
don't know, Alex.
Alexis
of Schitt's Creek.
I honestly, I do.
You do?
Damn it! I hate when I say that. I do the Alexis mannerisms sometimes, but I think I've done them for a while. Just no one ever caught on to it until she started doing it.
No, I can honestly say you didn't do it until you started watching Schitt's Creek.
Shit.
But you have always been a good mimicker.
Indeed.
Yeah. Back in the day when you were young, you could mimic Britney Spears.
I still can. Wait, you guys want to hear it? I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say I'm glad Britney is free. We love her. She is an icon. She is nostalgia for me. I love Britney.
Poor Britney.
She's still beautiful. She's still incredible. I don't know how this episode went from Writing Legibly
to Britney
Spears, but we're here.
But all the gay boys will love it.
I love it. Which we love our LGBTQ community so much.
We do.
So, hold on. I had a friend, and we would not only... This is what happens before you have TikTok, before you have Instagram, before you have Facebook. You go into your room, you listen to Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, whatever. Christina Aguilera, Mariah Carey, and you choreograph...
Spice Girls.
Oh my god, that's Spice Girls.
Oh, speaking of which...
Wait, I'm telling a story.
I know, but I have to just share that your birthday party at the roller skating rink, I took a photo of you, and I was able to take this photo of you and interweave it into the legs of the Spice Girls for your invitation.
You just said Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, because I'm drinking. And I don't have those skills anymore. Okay, stop.
Shake it to the right.
It's my story.
Sorry, I was getting into my Spice Girls era.
Okay, but Britney.
Oh, Spice Girls. Okay, so I used to have this friend. Not only would we choreograph dances, but we would prank call people because that's what you did for entertainment in the 2000s. So, I would call friends and pretend I was Britney Spears, which is horrible, but they believed me at the time.
What did you do?
Hi, this is Brittany Spears. Thank y'all so much for listening to me today. I just want to say that I appreciate y'all so much. It means the world to me that y'all listen to me. And thank you so much for listening to 102.7 KISS FM. Bye, y'all.
That was actually pretty good.
Baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? I don't know if I can sing that. I don't know copyright. Don't come after me, Brittany. I love you.
And she will do Christina Aguilera in the future.
I will do. Y'all should hear my Celine Dion.
No, not today.
Not today.
I think
Canada heard of it.
Canada did.
Quebec heard it.
On a boat, on the ferry.
On the ferry, it was great. I got money.
She did. People paid her. Oh, it was so funny. Anyway, that's a story for another day.
That is a story for another day and another episode on the podcast. But I think we're going to wrap it up today because we have thoroughly enjoyed the Girls Are Meaner wine, and
it's gone now.
Wait, really?
Oh well, no. There's like a thimbleful.
There's a thimbleful.
Because yeah.
Oh, I just burped on the podcast.
Your mother taught you better.
You taught me so well.
By the way, somebody told me I cackle. Is that because I'm a witch?
I don't know. Are you going from being a monster to being a witch?
I'm a monster witch.
She's a... Oh! She did the witch! She did the monster witch! The monster witch! I swear she's not a bitch! She's not a bitch!
Save that for...
the Halloween episode?
Save it for Samhain.
Samhain! Okay,
yes. Some people call it Samhain.
We're here to tell you and educate you that it's not Samhain or Samhain. It's Samhain. Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for listening to this short and sweet... Ooh, no, sorry, Sabrina Carpenter. Thank you for listening to this episode of this podcast, and we appreciate you. We love you. If you have any stories about maybe how generationally things have not been...
How you've not been able to write as legibly as your ancestors.
How things have not been passed down to you in your genetics, or how, now you can't write because you depend on a computer or text messaging, or if you're me and you're lazy and you just talk to text because you hate texting too.
And your grammar sucks.
My grammar is brilliant.
Not your grammar.
I was going to say, I know the difference between there, and there.
Thank God. And do you know why?
Because of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm definitely the grammar queen. So
she is. You can always email us your stories, email us any topics that you want to hear about at
larkandmomster@gmail.com.
larkandmomster@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in ever being a guest on the podcast, write in. And
yes.
We'll vet those applications.
We would love to have guests, witches, villains,
Nashvilleans, Los Angeles villains, New Orleanian villains, and Rice
vampires.
Villains. Yeah, vampires.
We'll have all of you on the show.
Yeah. Or if you just maybe are normal.
Who's normal? Who wants to be
Abby
normal
normals.
these days?
Yeah. Anyway,
Abby
thanks
normal.
for listening. We're always grateful that you're logging in or...
No, you're not logging in.
What are you doing?
We're downloading, listening.
Yeah, that.
Giving us 5-star reviews and drinking with us.
Yeah, we love that you drink with us. And if you try any of the wines that we suggest, let us know that too.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Like wines of San Juan, girls are meaner. Go Jared.
Except for us, because we're the nice ones.
Maybe.
Sorta. Kinda.
Maybe.
A little bit.
Bye.
If you're nice to us, give us 5 stars. Okay, bye! Bye!